Welcome everyone, it's Shari Carroll for SimonsSaysStamp.com with a special tag as part of the 25 days tag event for the In My Creative Opinion blog. I am going to go through the supplies that I'm using for this to begin with, and then I'll get going on the creating. So I'm starting off with a Tim Holtz 8x8 paper pad. I love these paper pads, and I'm going to flip through these. You can see how beautiful the papers are this year. So this is new for this Christmas season, and I love all the patterns. They really go well together. I am also using Dina Wakley number 8 tags, and I just purchased this whole big pack because I thought it would be fun to make extra tags, and I'll use this as a template. These are pure white, so they're really great for all types of techniques, and if you want to get pure color with a pure white tag. I'm also using some Tim Holtz velvet trimming, and I'm just using just a bit of this to create a cuff around the tag when I'm done. And also then I'm going to feature some Simon Says Stamp dies, starting with the DAPHNE Snowflake. This is new for this Christmas season. And also I'm going to be using the etched eucalyptus wreath, and this is really pretty. It has nice lines in those leaves, and I've cut this from two different papers, a light gray and then almost a really light olive from my paper stash. And to cut the window in my card, I'm using just the outline of the poinsettia ornament, and I found that it fit behind that wreath just perfectly, so I can use it for my window and everything will work well together. To start this tag book off, I am just tracing around one of the tags onto the front of the paper, and if you notice I have it to the right side because I'll be creating a fold on that left side. So once I have that traced, I can fold it right on that line and then trim off the excess using my paper trimmer. Next, I'm going to be cutting the circle, and I have it placed on the front of that page, and I have my score line here. I also have the inside page taped in place. I want to cut both of these together at the same time so that my window matches up. And once my window's cut, I'll be using some score tape to go around the edges, and I have the wide 1/4 inch to start off with. And then for the little rails on the sides, I'll be using the 1/8 of an inch strip so that that fits right next to that window. For the adhesive right by the fold, you want to place it just on the inside of the fold so none of the adhesive will go over. The next thing I want to do is to add some around the window so I can adhere my acetate piece in place. The next step is to put my inside piece, and I am just butting that up to that edge and making sure that it is perfectly aligned. The next step is to score this piece. So I'm scoring the outside and I'm making sure that I get a really heavy score line. And then I am realigning this after I flipped it over, and I'm measuring on the left, and I'll score again from the inside. I'm using my Fiskars trimmer. You can use your scoreboard. I just want to make sure that I get a nice deep etched score line. And with the booklet closed, I'm going to use my bone folder again and get a really nice crease. And next I'll reach under and remove the backing from that one strip of paper, and I'll make sure that I get good adhesion. And again, use my bone folder to make sure everything's pressed down in place. Once I have everything together, now I can use my trimmer and cut off the excess at the right side. This is such a really quick way to create just a single page inside a tag booklet. So of course you're going to want to go back and trim off your corners of the tags, and I'll just be using my scissors to do that. I want to show you how this sits once it's done. Since that outside paper wraps around the inside, when you close it, everything matches up, but when you open it, it slides that inside paper just slightly to the left. Now that I have the construction done, I can go on to decorating, and I'm gluing down my darker wreath first, and I'm just using Simon Says Stamp Craft Tacky Glue. I'm also using the fine liner tip on my glue bottle because it helps me get really small dots of glue in areas where the dies are really delicate. So once I've decided on my arrangement, I'll press this down in place. And I'll do the same to my second wreath, and I make sure that I've rotated it so it's in a little bit different direction from the first. Next, I'll add some glue to the back of my snowflake, and I'll set that just behind the window so that it sits directly centered in that wreath area when the tag book is closed. I've also used some of my scrap paper that I've cut off, and I created a little cuff that will go around the tag. and I have just folded around and adhered that in the back, and then I added a piece of ribbon over the top so it looks a little prettier. And it can slide on and off so that you can keep everything in place inside your booklet. And now it's time for some embellishing, and I'm using the Buttons Galore white pearls, and I'm just adding some glue and placing different sizes of the pearls around the wreath. Also, I'll be using some Nuvo Autumn Red drops, and I'm just adding these randomly for an additional splash of color. To finish this off, I used a Simon Says Stamp sentiment strip just above that cuff, and I also decorated some on the inside to create more messages. This booklet is perfect if you wanted to send a wallet-size photo or a gift card. You can just use some washi tape to adhere those to the pages. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on how to make a tag booklet for the holidays, and as always, thanks so much for watching.